Hi guys! I thought I would do a video on some of the mumbo jumbo, the terms in the metaphysical that you may not be familiar with, and there may have been things you've heard referred to and not really understood. If that is not something you're interested in, then I would just say you should click, and no offense will be taken. This is just for those that have been curious. So, when you hear readers refer to the clairs, you might have been curious. There is a set of French terms. They all begin with clair, which means clear, and then are followed by the gift. So, clairvoyance is probably the one you have heard the most. Clear seeing. And this is not with the physical eyes, it's seeing those things that others around you probably do not. It can be very subtle, like just seeing a dotting of movement next to you or a shadow, or it could be full out apparitions as if someone is actually standing in front of you. Then there is clairaudience, which is clear hearing. And there's two kinds of clairaudience. There's subjective, so you're hearing it but it's in your head, or objective, which is actually hearing with your physical ears, and that one is much less common. Clairsentience is about feeling, sensing, and this could be feeling emotions, or it could actually involve feeling an object and knowing its history. Now, before I get to the one that is my strongest, I'll mention a couple lesser known clairs. One is clairgustance, which is picking up psychic information from what you eat. And then there is clairalience, which is picking up scents or smells that convey information to you. And I would bet there are quite a few of you that have experienced that one. All of a sudden you smell cigar smoke and you're reminded of your grandpa, or chocolate chip cookies and you're reminded of the time you used to make those in the vacation times with a favorite aunt. You know, they will set off memories and often are sent to you so that you will think of that person. And then there is claircognizance, clear knowing. This is where the information just comes into your head and you're like, how the hell do I know that? And then there's telepathy, the ability to talk with another, just with your thoughts in your head. Those are just the basic ones. I think there are probably more clairs that I'm not familiar with, but you know, I have memory issues. I've just stretched that as far as I can go. Now we get to really why I wanted to do this video, which is about being an empath and picking up the energy of others and what it can do to us. So if you're strongly empathic, you can feel what someone is going through. But more than that, you can pick up their energy in the same vein. So if you think about it, you get up in the morning, let's say you start out fresh and you're in a wonderful mood. By God, you don't even care that you have to go to work. It's a beautiful day outside. Everything's been going swimmingly. You have no reason to be anything but happy and cheerful. Then you go to get coffee on your way to work and the barista is cranky as hell, ragging on you because you didn't order exactly the way they wanted you to order it, or bitching about what happened to them that morning. It really doesn't matter. They're not in a good mood. And as you're driving to work, or maybe as you walk in the door, all of a sudden you're thinking, I don't know, I'm just feeling kind of cranky. I don't know why. You walk into work, you're suddenly dealing with a depressed co-worker. And by the afternoon, you may find that you are just, oh, woe is me. What's the matter with my life? I'm not happy anymore. It's because you're picking up their energy, their emotions. It's like if you imagine an onion with all the layers. You started out with a small onion in the morning, and then the barista added another one, your co-workers added another one. You go home, if your spouse is grousing or on you about something angry, then you add more layers, and it piles up on you. After a while, you can isolate yourself. Now, obviously not from your spouse or your family, but you may just do the things you have to do in your life and not want to do anything extra. Things like malls, concerts, places with lots of people can be excruciating for strong empaths. So what do? Bad luck, right? Well, it can be a blessing and a curse, because sometimes it's really nice that you can tune into someone and know that they need a shoulder. You know, but the curse is, if you're just carrying it around and not unloading it, eventually you can literally be feeling weighed down, like you're wearing boots with 100-pound weights on them and it's hard to move your feet. Your body literally can react to all that energy. So it's really important to learn how to clear your energy. And there are plenty of meditations that can walk you through long, complicated ones. I have a very simple one on my blog on lifestartswithlove.com. But I'm going to let you in on a couple of really easy, quick ones. Because now I've told you why, I'll tell you the how. But before I tell you the how, I'm going to say that anytime you start to feel out of whack or off balance, it's a good time to clear your energy. And you're just asking that the energy that isn't good for you or doesn't serve you will be taken. So here's a couple quick ways to clear your energy that don't take much effort at all. One of them is in the shower or the bathtub. Just set the intention that the water will clear whatever doesn't serve you. Voila, how can it be much simpler than that? The other one is, everyone goes to the bathroom, right? If they tell you they don't, you've just maybe met a creature from outer space. When you go to the bathroom, you can just set the intention that as you eliminate that from your body, you're also eliminating any energy that doesn't serve you. For Pete's sake, how could it get more simple than that? Also, I will mention that if you have young children that are not at a stage, they can set the intentions, and you can tell that they're also very empathic and they start going wacko when they've been around people with moods that are upsetting. You can set the intention for them, for those things. And, give them a break. If they're too young to understand about doing anything themselves, think about how hard it is to be a little kid and then to be slammed with these overwhelming emotions and not know, that that's why they're feeling so uncertain, or unstable. Yeah, it's always nice to hiccup on camera. Do I have any more in there? I think we're safe. Anyway, the other thing is, you probably have heard about grounding. Why is it important? Well, because when you are grounded, you are in your physical body and you are attached to the earth. So it's like being a tree with roots. And when the windstorm comes in, it may actually tilt the tree and pull out a couple of the roots, but the tree doesn't go anywhere. It's still standing strong. I shouldn't have said that, because then there's people out there going, sometimes the tree isn't still standing. You're right, but most of the time, having those roots into the earth will keep the tree where it started before the windstorm. So if you aren't grounded, you're like just floating away, and think about what that means when the wind blows. So you're not attached to anything. Oh God! And that's why you feel so scattered, because you're just being blown around by whatever is going on around you. You don't have any kind of anchor. You're really at the mercy of the windstorm or the circumstances. So also on YouTube you can find a gazillion videos that can tell you how to ground. You can go through 20-minute meditations or rituals. But if you're like me, it's not going to matter. Grounding is very difficult for some people. So I'm just going to share the best way for me, which is I just say, where are my feet? I look down. Suddenly I'm conscious of my body being connected to the earth. And then, just with my intention, I pull up the energy of the earth, Gaia, Mother Earth, however you want to think about it, up through all my chakras, and then just spread it out through my energetic fields. That's the thing that works for me. Some people just imagine that they are a tree, and they're putting their roots into the ground and connecting to the center of the earth. Some people will take their shoes off and go stand in the grass. Some people will stick their fingers in a potted plant. You can eat things that were grown in the ground. There are all sorts of things that you can do, but the main thing is to just stay connected to the ground, because you're just less vulnerable if you are anchored. I know, who am I to talk, but I'm getting better at it. Now let's see, was there anything else? I can't think of anything. I think those were just the obvious things to me that people ask me about in the group I run all the time. And I just can't stress enough that if you are a strong empath, the energy clearing is extremely important. You will just be on so much more of an even keel if you take the time at least once a day, at least before bed, so you start out fresh. But you can do it way more. Anytime, like I said, you just feel out of whack or off balance, you feel better if you take the time to clear that crap energy out. And if you know exactly what caused it, you can name it. And I find that gives it even more power when you're clearing it. Anyway, thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.